Hi everyone, I'm Victoria, maid of honor, Alyssa's BFF, and John's now BFF as well. Um, Alyssa and I have been friends for almost 19 years now, ever since she moved to Morris in 5th grade. Back then, I was so excited that year to hear that there was a new girl in town, finally. And just my luck, she was on the same bus route as me. I'm sorry. So, of course, on that first day, I waved her over to sit with me. Now, I was very excited for a new friend, but not excited enough to give up my aisle seat. That's the best seat. You can't give that up. So, when she came over to sit with me, I went to move over, and she could squeeze by me and sit by the window. But she decided that wasn't for her. So, what she did was I moved over, and then she sat right down on my lap. Talk about an awkward first meeting. But that didn't stop us from clicking and being stuck like glue ever since. We have gone through a lot together, our awkward teen years with braces and acne, to becoming young adults with demanding jobs and 500 miles that separate us. Thankfully, I've had the opportunity to spend every winter in Virginia with them, which also gave me the opportunity to be John's roommate for 2 weeks. When I first met John, I wasn't really sure how I felt about him. He was a little too quiet at first, and I'm not about that. But that first day as roommates, when he decided to put It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia on the TV and then ordered Little Caesars for lunch, I knew he was my kind of guy. From then on, I became Alyssa and John's third wheel, taking trips to places like DC, where I learned that there was definitely someone much, much worse at driving than Alyssa. I didn't know it was possible, honestly, but it is. They definitely are made for each other. I knew it wouldn't be long before they were married, but John still surprised me when he told me he was going to ask Alyssa to marry him. Conveniently that day, Alyssa and I had walked around the mall, just window shopping, and we ended up at a jewelry store looking at engagement rings. So later that night, as I was falling asleep in the living room, John comes out and whispers ever so lightly that he was going to ask her to marry him on the cruise they were going on in a few months. And then he walked away back into the room casually, like it just, he hadn't dropped a bomb, the biggest bomb on me that I now had to keep a secret for months. I've never been more stressed in my entire life. But they did it. They were engaged. It was a beautiful engagement. And now they're married. You guys did it. Yes. I couldn't be happier for the two of you. So I'd like you guys all, I wish I don't have a drink, but I want everybody to raise a glass to John and Alyssa. Here's to always loving each other and occasionally liking each other. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nate Fifield, and I am John's smarter, more handsome, older brother. And today I am also have the honor of being Johnny's best man. So first of all, I'd like to thank Alyssa for making John the happiest man in the room right now. Alyssa, you're a fun, beautiful, good-hearted person who deserves a great husband. It's just really unfortunate you had to run into John first, but here we are. We're going to make this work. I'd also like to thank all the bridesmaids for all the support that they've given Alyssa today in getting here. You all look beautiful. And then finally, I'd like to thank the parents for all the hard work that they've done, finally getting us to this day. It looks like, indeed, the third time is the charm. And we've all been able to finally gather here today and get this thing done with. Johnny here, he is 6 years younger than me. And so when you're little kids, that 6 years, that's a big difference. Right? He was a lot younger, but he always wanted to be involved in whatever me and my friends were doing. And, you know, it started off, maybe there's little things like, oh, here's this kid in third grade who's quoting R-rated movies. The teacher's not too sure about what's going on or why he's doing that. And then later on, he probably got a little more than he bargained for when we used to practice and perfect our wrestling moves in the pool with him. Johnny is definitely a connoisseur of the choke slam and the flying leg kick. But he's still alive so far. Another thing that happened when we were little kids was that for some reason my mom, she thought it would be a good idea to buy both of us our own matching pair of Sugar Ray Leonard boxing gloves. And so sure enough, we did put them to use, and I would say he got some lucky punches in there, but I think I still won the fight. He never did tell Mom, though. Some other things that Johnny followed me into was I just loved playing hockey growing up, and that was my favorite thing to do. And sure enough, Johnny got really interested in doing that, and he started playing that himself. And now he's all grown up. He's a real man. And the 6 years is suddenly not so different anymore. And we get to do a lot of things together. And it really wasn't even that long ago that, you know, finally we got to play on the same hockey team together, playing in tournaments that we like to do with our other friends and things like that. So eventually John got really, really into playing golf, and he was always playing golf with my dad. And he always kept asking me if I wanted to play, and I just, you know, there was nothing I'd ever done before. And then finally, I started playing with him, and he finally broke me down, and I'm like, man, geez, you really love this golf stuff, don't you? And he was like, oh, yeah. So now that is another activity that we both get to do together all the time. And I would say whenever me and John get together, you can almost guarantee that we'll find ourselves out there on the golf course playing around together. And that is also another thing that I know that John, you know, really enjoys, the fact that Alyssa also loves to play golf, and that's another activity that they love to be able to do together. And I get to play golf with Alyssa, and we all have a really good time doing that. All right, so with that, I'd like to say congratulations to John and Alyssa, and here's to a long, happy, and prosperous life together. Cheers.
I'd like to begin by welcoming everyone and thanking each and every one of you for being here on this most happy of days. It's no accident that each of you who are here today and each of you were invited to be here because you represent someone important in the individual and collective lives of John and Alyssa. As John's uncle, I am honored to be the officiant for their long-awaited wedding. I know how deeply these two care for and love one another, and I feel privileged to be here today among all of you as a witness of their commitment to a lifetime of love for one another. Marriage is perhaps the greatest and most challenging adventure of human relationships. No ceremony can create your marriage, only you can do that. Through love and patience, through dedication and perseverance, through talking and listening, helping and supporting and believing in each other, through tenderness and laughter, through learning to forgive, learning to appreciate your differences, and by learning to make the important things matter and to let go of the rest. John, do you take Alyssa to be your wedded wife? Do you promise to be true to her in good times and bad? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and health for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Alyssa, do you take John to be your wedded husband? Do you promise to be true to him in good times and bad? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and health for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me by the state of New York, it is my honor to pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. I now present to you the newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. John Byfield.